Uh, I saw the fight, Savannah Marshall versus Herman. So I saw the fight. I saw the aftermath. You know, the fight wasn't broadcast in the States. I just came back from a friend of mine's house who had a fire stick. Okay, it's too bad that the fight wasn't shown here in the States. I guess there was a network Fight Pass or something like that he had, and I checked it out and I saw the fight. So I couldn't do the live stream, but here's my reaction to the fight. Look, Savannah Marshall, I think it's clear, and I've been saying this for quite some time. Savannah Marshall is just better than Claressa Shields. Technically, she's better. Herman's never been knocked out, and Savannah Marshall just outclassed her, knocked her. What was that, the third round? She threw, it was, body shot just from the shoulders. It wasn't like she was digging too hard. Her power is real. Savannah Marshall, just muscle memory, throwing a shot, just doing what she does, and stopped Herman's. Now, look, Claressa Shields, she jumped in the ring. The funny thing about that is Claressa Shields, she said that she wasn't going to do anything tasteless or disrespectful like jump in the ring the way Savannah Marshall did. Something made Claressa Shields fire up the way she did. And it's insecurity, okay? But the thing is this. You guys know I'm a huge fan of Claressa Shields. I got her in my top 3 pound-for-pound fighters in the world, okay? Like you said, you guys know that my pound-for-pound is all-inclusive. To me, I have men pound-for-pound, women pound-for-pound, and then an all-inclusive pound-for-pound. And in that all-inclusive pound-for-pound, I have Claressa Shields in the top 3. I'm a big fan of Claressa Shields. I think she's a bad girl. And I think her last fight, she looked incredible, okay? With that said, Savannah Marshall is a better fighter than her. But that doesn't mean Savannah Marshall beats Claressa Shields, okay? But hold on. What does mean that Savannah Marshall beats Claressa Shields is the fact that Savannah Marshall has given her only loss. In the amateurs, Savannah Marshall beat her in the amateurs. It's one of those things. Marshall is just a phenomenal fighter. She has the long limbs, and she has the dexterity, and she has that. You know what it reminds? You know how Deontay Wilder is a fighter, but Tyson Fury is just better technically, and then his height and everything. It just was too much for Wilder. That can be the case with Savannah Marshall, who boxes very similar to Tyson Fury anyway, and Claressa Shields. But I want to say this, though. Claressa Shields is a dog, okay? She's a dog. She doesn't just have bark, she got bite. Claressa Shields, is one of the greatest female fighters ever, all right? Most accomplished, one of the more accomplished female fighters ever, all right? 2 gold medals, all the things. We all know this. This is going to be a fantastic fight. For me, being a big fan of Claressa Shields, I've been saying this for a while, and I'm going to stay consistent. Savannah Marshall was better, and I got Savannah Marshall beating Claressa Shields. And tonight against Herman's was just another, feather in the cap, another notch, Claressa Shields couldn't stop Herman's. That fight with Herman's was bizarre, though. Herman's was kind of throwing Claressa off. Claressa beat her, though. Savannah Marshall stopped her. Savannah Marshall, she stops her opponents. She is slicker. She throws her punches better than Claressa Shields. She got more power, all those things, and she beat Claressa Shields in amateurs. In their back and forth when Claressa Shields was just going off, and I love seeing her go off. I love Claressa Shields. I love her fire in her gut. I love it. Savannah Marshall was laughing. She's not. Claressa Shields in her face, she's looking at the camera just like, okay. She's looking at her smiling. She's not sweating Claressa Shields. It looked like she never has. It looks like she always had her number. Like she feels like she's always had her number. That's dangerous. Claressa Shields just desperately wanting this fight, not running from it, is the reason why I have her in the top 3 fighters, pound for pound. Unlike many other fighters out there, Claressa Shields is clearing out the table, and her biggest opponent, her steepest hill, she's running towards it. For me, that's warriorship. For me, that puts you above I don't care. If you're one that push your balls, many men, many men, okay? I don't give a damn. Your genitalia, what you hold between your legs. Warriorship. With me being a fan of Claressa Shields, I'm rooting for her against Savannah Marshall. With me being a fan of boxing, I'm rooting for the best fighter in the ring that night to have their hand raised. Too often are we getting the wrong judge, right? The wrong results. Too often, all right? You have Devin Haney versus George Kambosos because of what we've been seeing with stuff like Josh Taylor, Catterall, little robberies, right? You're already looking at Haney versus Kambosos and you say, there could be a robbery here. You feel what I'm saying? That's just in the consciousness. People feel that if it goes 12 rounds, Bivol against Canelo, if it goes 12 rounds, there's no way Bivol beats Canelo. That's in the consciousness, all right? So what I root for first and foremost is for boxing to get it right. I think Savannah Marshall is a better fighter than Claressa Shields. Better technically. But the better boxer doesn't always win the bout. Iran Barkley beat the hell out of Hearns twice. Hearns is better than him, okay? He just couldn't beat him, all right? Mayorga, Vernon Forrest, same thing. Maybe Claressa Shields just too much of a dog for Savannah Marshall. She's going to have to be. Because if they're boxing come this summer, Savannah Marshall versus Claressa Shields this summer, if they're boxing, Savannah Marshall outboxes Claressa Shields. If they're fighting, we'll see. ShowBizz for adult. This is a dangerous fight, but most importantly, it's a fight they both want. Boxing is changing. I'm out.